Chick-FeLaShe-O, where we pay for our dreams. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Tell your friends about the page. So today, I'm going to be discussing which is better. Who wins the ultimate showdown? Cartagena, Colombia, or Sosua, Dominican Republic. What's better? So I have 5 categories, and we're gonna go through the categories, and I'm gonna tell you what I believe about each category and who wins out of that category. So the first category is scenery. The scenery. So, granted, I'm going to start with Sosua, Dominican Republic. So Sosua is a small town, very small, and as far as the scenery goes, it's okay, but if you've been there, you know. It's easy to get around. It's right there. So it's kind of unfair to compare the scenery of Cartagena to Sosua, because Cartagena is much bigger. So with that being said, the scenery in Sosua is just a bunch of, around the corner. It's like a little town. You know what I'm saying? A little town versus Cartagena. Now Cartagena is very big, very, very big. And it kind of reminds you of starting out Miami, I should say. Like when Miami started out with the buildings and very big. And it's a growing country. A growing city, I would say, in that country. So I might have to give the nod to Cartagena because it's much bigger, and it looks much more developed, and it's much more cleaner, I would say. So I'm gonna go with Cartagena. The next category is food. The food. Now this is a hard one. Because there are excellent food. So I'm gonna start with Cartagena on this one. Cartagena has probably some of the best food that I ever tasted in my life. I'm talking like from the fish to the burgers, everything's made fresh. It's right there. They don't necessarily have too many, corner bodegas and anything like that. Most of the stuff is they have like restaurants and stuff. So from where I was at, I don't know about the outer, because it's very big, so I don't know about the other parts of the city, but I know where I was at. I went to this one burger joint, and man, I tell you, it was one of the greatest burgers I ever had. Now, as far as Sosua goes, the food is excellent there. Excellent. And the thing about Sosua that I would say is, if you want some beans and rice, and you want some, chicken or whatever, it's plenty of places you can get food from. It's not that expensive. So I'm gonna have to go with Sosua on this one, even though I think that Cartagena food tastes better. But I think that Sosua wins because they have much more of a variety in that location. So I'm gonna go with Sosua on that one. The next category is convenience. So I'm gonna start with Sosua. Everything is in a walking distance in Sosua. You can walk anywhere out there. Like, it's all there. The clubs, the casinos, the food. You don't really need a car. If you stay in Sosua, in the town, you don't need a car. You can literally walk around. Whereas where I stayed in Cartagena, I had to get to the wall city I had to go at least 15, 20 minutes every day to get there. And it's kind of tiring because you got to constantly jump in the cab and go there, you know. And I think that that part is, to me, a problem. Now, as far as the currency goes, because I'm gonna lump this one in with that, I think Dominican Republic money is easier to figure out than Cartagena's, Colombia's money. With that being said, it's much more cheaper in Cartagena than Dominican Republic. But I would say that in Dominican Republic, it's much more convenient now to get the money and count it and everything. Cartagena sometimes it's very complicated. So I'm actually gonna call a draw on this one because Cartagena, even though the money is a little bit confusing, it's much more much cheaper than Sosua. So I'm gonna go with Cartagena, Colombia on that. A draw. I'm gonna call a draw on that one because the convenience of getting around in Sosua and the convenience of the Cartagena's money, I'm gonna call a draw. And the next one is hospitality. So, who has the better hospitality in the two? I'm just gonna straight out say this. When I was in the airport, the Colombian airline stewardess or whatever they were, the tellers, they wasn't so polite. They wasn't so polite at all, actually. It was actually a little bit ignorant. And they didn't explain anything, you know? So, let's just say I took the COVID. I had my COVID shot, the vaccine. I've been vaccinated. And when I told them that, they asked me to see my vaccine card. I showed them the vaccine card, and she thought that it was a fake. So then I said, okay, and I showed her my vaccine docket on my phone. And she still didn't believe me. So she made me fill out this paper, you know, and it was very nasty about it. She went and didn't explain. It was in Spanish, and I'm like, well, I don't understand what you're saying. And she was just like basically shrugged her shoulders, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, and I'm like, so this Spanish girl who was actually there, who knew English, she had to help me figure it out, and she told me what to do. And then on top of that, when I got to Medellin, they didn't even use the paper. It was like, you don't need this. Whereas Dominican Republic, they're much more pleasant, much more nicer. Now, I'm not gonna say everybody's nice, but for the most part, the stewardess and the women who are taking your listening, they help you with everything, and more of them know English. So a lot of the stewardess, a lot of the women, the tellers, they know English. So they tell you some things, you know. They tell you, well, you do this and do that and do that, you know. So I'm gonna have to go with Sosua, Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic on that one. And the last, but certainly not least, probably the best topic on here is who has the better women? Who is the better paid to play? Why would you go there and why would you go here? Now, this is a good one. This is a really good one because I'm going to go down the line, and this is going to have like little topics within one topic. So we're going to start with looks. I'm going to go on record and say that Colombian women look better than Dominican women. Face-wise, a lot of them are very, very beautiful women, like very beautiful. And not nothing taken away from Dominican women, they just look good. They look good. But as far as bodies go, oh man, Dominican women got them beat hands down. Like, there were some nice, thick Colombian women out there, don't get me wrong. But 90% of the Dominican women I came across, they usually don't have surgery and they're naturally thick. Where it's the Colombian women, some of them have surgery, but I've seen a lot of them out of shape, but I also seen a lot of them in shape and look good. Now, I will say this about Colombian women. They seem a little more upscale, a little more bougie than Dominican women. Now, as far as the prices go, if you're a great negotiator, you can negotiate. But for the most part, Colombian women stick to a certain price. And here's the thing, and I want y'all to understand this and hear me clearly. Colombian women move, especially in Cartagena, they move like they don't need your money. So even if you try to negotiate a good price, they're gonna say to you, no. I got told no a couple of times when I try to negotiate the price. They told them no. Now, the ones I dealt with, they end up negotiating with me. And I did the oldest trick in the book. I waited till late and then said, hey, I'll give you this. And then they was like, oh, okay. And they did it. But a good portion of them don't need the money because the currency there is very low. As far as them, if they get American money from you and they go to the store, they can buy a vast amount of food, they can buy stuff, and they can just use 2-3 men and it'll last them for a month. Whereas in Dominican Republic, they kind of need the money. They need it. The women need it because the food is a little more expensive, much more expensive actually. The food is more expensive, and they will negotiate with you faster because they know that if they if you give them the money and they get you out of here, they can go back to the club or go anywhere to get back into the business and jump back into it and get another man to do the same thing. So an hour for them, a couple of dollars is what it is. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all any prices because that's something that you're going to have to experience on your own when you get out there and when you ask them. Now, another thing about Colombian women is they're bougie, but at the same time, they're much more, you're not just going to have sex with me type girls. You go up to them and say, every girl that I went up to in Cartagena, in the club that I went to a club called the Monkey Bar, right? I want y'all to remember that. I went to a club called Drastic, right? Those clubs, Delirium, those clubs are off the hook. They're off the hook. But anyway, I went to the club, and when I got there, I tried to approach the girls like I approach girls in Sosua or in Dominican Republic. And that's the wrong move because they're not the same type of females. Even though they do the same things, it's the way that they go about it. So Colombian women are more on the lines of, they'll say to you, when you say, hey, what's your WhatsApp? What they'll do is they'll go to their messenger, not messenger, their the Google Translate, and they'll say, how are you? What's your name? Or they'll say, before you ask me for my number, how are you? What is your name? And see, I never experienced that in Sosua because I slept with a lot of women in Sosua and didn't even remember their name or didn't even know their name. So, on that aspect, Cartagena, the women in Cartagena, when I say they're a little more upscale, they don't just want to be treated like a whore or a hooker, even though that's what they're doing. They want to be a little more, show them a little more respect. You know what I'm saying? So, now as far as who wins that battle, that's a battle actually that I'm going to let you guys decide, because I can't say that Dominican Republic has better women overall, and I can't say Cartagena or Sosua has better women overall, or Cartagena has better women overall, because there was times when I went to Sosua and I seen some okay looking girls, but 90% of the time I see beautiful women. And there was times I went to Cartagena and I seen some beautiful women, and I seen some all right women. But again, if you're looking for the convenience, or I would say the quick nut, you definitely want to go to Sosua, Dominican Republic, because with a certain amount of money, you can probably sleep with 3 or 4 times more women in Sosua than you would in Cartagena, because most of the women in Cartagena, they're not coming down on that price, not at all. So just be prepared to spend a little bit of money. And there you have it, man. There you have it. If you like the content, consider subscribing to the page. Tell your friends about the page, especially the single men that has been going through things in America and they want a new outlet. They just want to release some tension and some stress. Send them to my page. Have them email me. I'll explain to them, what it is and how to go about it. And I'm going to be planning a trip. So if you guys want to meet me, actually, you will get a chance to see the face behind the beautiful voice. So, Chick-FeLaShe-O, man. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Tell your friends about the page, man.